I'm Velshi with MSNBC. On November 3rd, the Supreme Court will hear oral arguments in the first substantive Second Amendment case in more than a decade. The lawsuit challenges New York's practice of only giving concealed carry permits to those who can show that they've got a special need to defend themselves. Joining me for this week's A More Perfect Union is Jeffrey Rosen, President and CEO of the National Constitution Center. Jeff, tell us about this case and what it means for the future of gun regulation in America.
Well, it's a hugely important case, Ali, because, as you say, it involves whether you can carry a gun outside the home. The New York law does require that you have proper cause or a special need to defend yourself, and at least 7 other states have similar laws on the books. In addition, most states restrict the carrying of handguns in lots of public places like schools, parks, and restaurants, so the stakes are high. Now, the people who are challenging this law say that it violates the Second Amendment. They cite a 2008 case called Heller, where the Supreme Court said the Second Amendment protects your right to keep and bear arms inside the home. And the question here is, does that case extend to protecting individual gun rights to carry outside the home? But there's a really interesting brief in the case filed by defenders of the law who say that history and tradition supports the right to regulate public carry. They point to 6 states at the time of the founding that had laws on the books regulating when citizens could carry weapons in public. And since the conservative justices, in particular Justices Kavanaugh and Barrett, the newest justices, say that history and tradition matters a lot, those 6 states could carry a lot of weight. On the other side, the people who are defending the New York law say that those founding-era laws never applied to people who were peaceably carrying weapons. They only applied to people who presented some kind of danger or a threat. So the Supreme Court's going to have to work through these tough questions. The stakes are extremely important, but one thing is clear, that the future of the ability to restrict guns in public will depend on what the justices decide.
Yeah, the National Rifle Association, groups like that often rate New York one of the hardest places, or one of the places they'd like to see gun rights change a lot. So we will be watching this closely. Jeffrey Rosen is the president and the CEO of the National Constitution Center. You can hear more on this topic on the latest episode of the We the People podcast, hosted by Jeff and the National Constitution Center. Wherever you get your podcasts, be sure to follow on Twitter, Rosen Jeffrey and Constitution CTR.